So my voice is on its last thread. So I just wanted to give you a warning in case my voice goes into smooth jazz mode.
Wait, what? That's not what they were called? What's up guys, Deroir here, and welcome to another episode of Hype Time. Today we just got the first look at the new Desert Borderlands that's coming with Heart of Thorns. Now for the longest time, I've been looking for something to once again get me enthused about World vs. World in off-season times. Don't get me wrong, I love the whole idea of World vs. World, but like so many other players out there, I tend to get bored with the same old Borderlands. The simple lack of new stuff for World vs. World in the past 2 years has admittedly been the #1 factor as to why I don't prioritize World vs. World that high in my daily game routine. The season matches are great, but that hype is still only temporary. Well, introducing the Desert Borderlands. First off, I have to give credit to how beautifully detailed this map looks. That said, it also encompasses and seems to refine a lot of the mechanics from both the old Alpine borders and the Edge of the Mist. The map is said to have 3 main keeps: an Earth, Air, and Fire keep. I can imagine they deliberately constructed the name of the Air keep so as not to get the whole thing to resemble the R&B band from the 70s. It's funny, since I guess the reason why they chose a Tengu as the lord for the Air keep is that they roam the dominion of winds, not air. Jokes aside, these 3 keeps all have special environmental bonuses to aid the server that controls it, which, without exaggerating, gets pretty crazy when maxed out. These bonuses are acquired through the control of specific shrines, which can also grant movement speed, 10% damage bonus or reduction, or increased critical chance depending on the shrine. Every keep, obviously, as the name implies, has an elemental theme to them, all of which are only highlighted in the bonuses that they can get. The 3 Earth Keep bonuses are, first off, activating hidden rock walls that'll pop out of the ground to stop enemies. Second, you can activate Earth Turrets, which pulse AoE cripple. And the third will activate a sandstorm around the keep, which basically grants permastealth to your server while inside the sandstorm. OP! The second keep is the Air Keep, and the bonuses your server can get here are, for example, activating jump pads for traversing the environment faster, and activating wind turrets that can periodically blow players off narrow sections of the map. The last one grants your server the bonus of not taking falling damage within the canyon of the Air Keep, so feel free to command your Cirque off the edges. Lastly, we have the Fire Keep, which is the first and only keep to be fully underground. That will perhaps mess up a bit of the trebuchet's usability, depending on the height of the ceiling, of course. Well, the bonuses that can be gained for the Fire Keep are as follows. The first shrine activates a mechanic wherein you can get the ability to transform into an Inferno Hound, which was said to be super tanky and brutal. Second shrine will activate fire turrets that launches fireballs at enemies. And the last shrine will grant your server fire immunity, allowing you to walk on lava, and also allows you to use lava pools as portals to also traverse the map faster. Apart from these 3 keeps, there will be 4 towers, each of which have their own theme, such as the Ogre, Char, Lich, and Mage towers, each with a diverging aesthetic look and matching boss. The general underlying theme of the map seemed to revolve around the idea of 2 specific things. One is terrain variation, and the second is terrain usability, meaning not only have they focused on making this map very diverse from what we've seen previously, they've also made sure that all of these new additions have a meaning and purpose. Owning objectives in this map is very important. Simply owning keeps and towers allow you to get to places on the map a lot faster via shortcut. The map itself offers a greater depth of play. There are narrow chokeholds and more space with different layers, hidden paths, and secret passages. Just to give you the example that was offered in the show-off. Normally, when you're defending a gate, the defenders have to stand in line on top of the gate. It can get pretty hard as the defenders can see where you are at all times. The new towers and keeps are designed to take advantage of the terrain and now have more pathways to surround the gates, so defenders have more space to defend and attackers have fewer safe spots. Players will no longer be able to walk around an enemy tower really easily. The walls play a crucial role in controlling areas. The entire map is, as said earlier, a desert. And so in the middle of this desert is an oasis. Now, this oasis actually offers a really interesting new feature into World vs. World. Every third hour, an oasis event will start in the center of the map, wherein each server can fight for control of this golden mega laser, which, on a side note, seems to resemble the architecture of the Exalted. Once the weapon is charged, it fires into the sky repeatedly, striking every enemy object, which gradually will destroy gates. This laser more or less resembles the very hated Skyhammer from PvP. Let's just hope they at least keep the possibility of being able to dodge the laser. All in all, controlling the laser will offer up the opportunity for your server to go on a capture spree for objectives. Now, no overview map was given to us in the show-off, but according to an interview by 10 Ton Hammer, the layout of the structure should be roughly in the same physical locations. So, just to draw up a quick sketch. I imagine the map will be of a somewhat triangular substance with, of course, one server having the geographically obvious upper hand somewhere. That, or the map might be more akin to the Eternal Battlegrounds map, with no obvious geographical upper hand, but instead all spawn points will be located in an exact triangle with a corresponding keep, all of which will be surrounding the Oasis in the middle. I'm very much in favor of this last one. For a while now, the idea of map rotation in World vs. World have been speculated on wildly, and just today, Colin Johansson specified that this new Borderland initially will replace the existing Borderland map entirely with the new one, and later there will be a rotation of schedule to be determined between Borderland maps. So they're not completely getting rid of the Alpine Borderlands, they're just going to let us play this new one extensively for a while before reintroducing the old maps into the rotation. I'm okay with that. But what about the people that possibly don't buy the expansion? Are they going to be locked out of World vs. World during the times when this map is in rotation? There are a few more details about the map and features, such as a new siege weapon and Desert Doliacs with Defender's buff. But I'd rather get down to the nitty-gritty discussion of this map with you guys, and so I left a few extra links down below if you want to check out the stuff I left out. Okay, so now that we've got the overall design covered, I want to get a little bit more specific. What is one specific thing that seems to have changed with this map that the current Alpine Borderlands never had? Defender's incentive. Since every objective now has an Edge of the Mist style helpful buff or advantage, the incentive for players to defend everything has greatly increased. Getting all sorts of buffs added to your server along with better vantage points is a huge difference, coming from the old system of you having to reinforce and place siege on every single wall in every keep and every tower just to be able to actually defend them, which in the end yields nothing more than a few more points per tick if you actually manage to survive and defend it. Now, what's one thing with the Desert Borderlands that might cripple this entire experience? The defender incentives are now so high that the defender advantages seem to finally combat the offensive strategy, which is not necessarily a good thing for the player experience. What odds of winning does smaller servers or circs have of taking the airkeep if all shrines are heavily guarded, granting those inside all these massive bonuses? Or the firekeep for that matter, if the opposing circ is simply standing in the lava, knocking you around ranged. Having Havoc squads take care of the shrines will now get a whole new level of importance to the main circ, and so less organized and smaller servers will perhaps be somewhat left behind. I know World vs. World is not really designed and supposed to cater to these smaller servers, but rather the massive scale battle and experience that World vs. World is, and that this map seems to be able to bring. One more thing to note about the Defender's incentive that I really hope will be touched on later is the fact that even though server-wide incentive for defending has increased, the personal incentive still hasn't. There's still no monetary gain from staying inside the keep defending instead of just steamrolling other objectives with the rest of the circ. At least ArenaNet hasn't mentioned it in any way. Even though this map is aesthetically pleasing and substitutes old content in a way that I've really been looking forward to, I'm still quite sure that I'm not the only one just being a little bit skeptical about this map. Or am I? What do you guys think about the map? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or are you really just holding back on your emotions till you experience it with your own eyes and virtual legs? I would really love to discuss this map with you guys. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below, or Twitter. That's all I had for this time. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, I will see you in the mists.